Hello, this is Ariana Antonio for APD1 1405. This is my Milestone 2 update. So this week what I did for my features was I added an option to search for locations based on city or zip code. When you search for a location, it automatically saves it and so that you can access it later. And the way you get to that is in the settings. There ends up being a list of all these saved cities, and then you can click on one and it'll pull up the current weather for that city. You can, of course, delete the saved locations. And then these two are just settings or just options in the settings. One is you can see the temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius, and the other is the wind speed in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. I did go ahead and get all these done. The one that was changed, this used to be in order to access the saved locations, you would swipe to the right and a new view controller would pop up with one of your saved cities in it and keep swiping to get to more cities. But instead I changed that to just the list in the settings, and you just click on one to get to it that way. And also this used to be an option for also meters per second and knots, but those seemed like options that people weren't going to very likely use, so I went ahead and deleted them. And so we can go ahead and run my app in the reflector, and I don't have the app in there currently. It's been deleted so that you can see the initial run of it. So it goes ahead and asks for our location. You can say yes, and here it's got my current location and Los Angeles. Same stuff as last week with the refresh button and the share button and that sort of thing. So then we can go ahead and search for new location, and it's a plus button because it also adds it or saves it. So let's try one by zip code. So that's where some of my family is. This pulls up Bremerton, Washington. You can also do it just by city name. And there's New York. Seems that it's hazy there. There's also something kind of cool. So if you want to get specific, so let's say you put Venice and it comes up with Los Angeles, California, because that's we have the city of Venice out here. So you can get more specific and put Venice, Italy, and it will bring you Venice, Italy. So if you're too general and it brings you the wrong city, or there are multiple, like if you live in somewhere named Springfield and there are a bunch of those, you can just get more specific and it should bring up the correct location. And obviously zip code is pretty specific as well. So then we can go ahead and back out of this and go to the settings page, and you can see we have Los Angeles, New York, Venice, Italy, and Bremerton. And so then you can go ahead and say click on Bremerton, and it pulls up the weather for Bremerton. And then I will go ahead and stop this so then you can see when we load it up again. Pulls up my current location, go to the settings, go to settings, and there are the four I just looked up. You can go ahead and edit. Dang it, I keep forgetting to do this on my phone. You can edit and it chooses an option. So let's say we didn't want Los Angeles because that's our current location, so we don't actually need it. Go ahead and delete it, hit done. And then again, I will stop this and start it again so that I can show that it did in fact not just delete that from the table view, but it also deleted it from the documents directory. There it is. All right, and so there you go, Los Angeles is gone. And so then the one other thing is right now our temperature is done in Fahrenheit, and all of this on here is in Fahrenheit, and the wind is in miles per hour. So we can go to settings, change that to Celsius, change that to kilometers per hour, go back, and our weather is in Celsius and kilometers per hour. And this will save it for the whole app. So now if I pull up a new search page, or if I pull up one of my saved locations, they will be in Celsius and kilometers per hour unless I go back into settings and change it. And I can even, again, to show that this is saving it in user defaults, I will close the app and run it again and open the reflector, and you can see that it has saved it in Celsius and kilometers per hour, so it remembers your settings as well. So that's it. That is my app for this week. Everything went pretty well. Some things took a little time, pulling all of the saved locations from the documents directory and then loading them up into a table view. Things like that were a little complicated. The logic kind of took some to work around and that sort of thing. But otherwise, it went pretty much as expected. So I'm pleased with how this turned out this week. So that's it. Thanks so much. Bye.